And here we're looking at the vertebral column. So starting at the top, here we have the cervical vertebrae, and then under them we have the thoracic vertebrae, and there are 12 of those. And then under those we then have the lumbar vertebrae, the last 5 single vertebrae there. And then inferior to the lumbar region we have the sacrum, and then if we just turn this model around so we can see from the back, we have the very small coccyx here right at the bottom. And we can see that the vertebral column is curved in different directions in some of those different regions. Now, if we just look at an individual vertebra, now this one is a lumbar vertebra, but we're just going to look at a few features of it. Firstly, here we're looking at an anterior point of view. Here's the vertebral body, but it's probably easier to see it from a superior point of view. So that is all body. Everything else makes up the arch. So all these other bits that are sticking off the body, they're all part of the vertebral arch. The first part, the part that's actually attached to the body, this little bit here, which is the pedicle. Now if we look at it from a lateral point of view, it might be a bit easier to spot. From an inferior point of view, that's the pedicle there. So it's just this little part that's attaching the rest of the arch to the body. Then coming off the arch on the lateral side, we have a transverse process. So if we're looking from a superior point of view, the transverse process is pretty easy to spot, sticking out to the side here. So this is transverse process, and then the spinous process is this posterior projection here. So from a superior point of view, pretty easy to spot there. If we turn around to a lateral point of view, not so much to see of the transverse process because it's pointing directly at us, but there's the spinous process sticking out the back. So spinous, transverse processes, pedicle, and then body, remembering that everything that's not the body is the arch. Now then, if we look at the 5 fused vertebrae that make up the sacrum and the 4 that make up the coccyx, here we've got them here as one piece. We can see that we're looking at an anterior point of view here. These holes here are anterior sacral foramina. If we turn the sacrum around and look at it from a posterior point of view, these holes are now posterior sacral foramina. We can see the median sacral crest. It's made up of these projections here that would have been spinous processes when these parts were single vertebrae before they fused. So that's the median sacral crest. At the top of that crest there's an opening here which is the start of the sacral canal, and then at the bottom of that crest there's this opening here which is the sacral hiatus. Now inferior to the sacrum, of course, we have the coccyx. We can see that here as well.